Section 20 of Library of the World's Best Literature, Ancient and Modern, Volume 3. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Cynthia Moyer. Library of the World's Best Literature, Ancient and Modern, Volume 3. Section 20. Excerpts from the Avesta by various authors. A Psalm of Zoroaster, Yasna 30. Now shall I speak of things which ye who seek them shall bear in mind, namely, the praises of Ahura Mazda and the worship of good thought, and the joy of, literally, through, righteousness which is manifested through light. Hearken with your ears to what is best, with clear understanding perceive it, awakening to our advising every man personally of the distinction between the two creeds before the great event, i.e., the resurrection. Now, two spirits primeval there were twins which became known through their activity, to wit, the good and the evil, in thought, word, and deed. The wise have rightly distinguished between these two, not so the unwise. And now when these two spirits first came together, they established life and destruction, and ordained how the world hereafter shall be, to wit, the worst world, hell, for the wicked, but the best thought, heaven, for the righteous. The wicked one, Ahriman, of these two spirits chose to do evil; the holiest spirit, Ormazd, who wears the solid heavens as a robe, chose righteousness, Asha; and so also those who zealously gratified Ormazd by virtuous deeds. Not rightly did the demons distinguish these two spirits, for delusion came upon them as they were deliberating, so that they chose the worst thought, hell; and away they rushed to Wrath, the fiend, in order to corrupt the life of man, Marathon. And to him, i.e., to Gaya Marathon, came Kshathra, kingdom, Vohu Mana, good thought, and Asha, righteousness. And Arma Iti, archangel of earth, gave to him bodily endurance unceasingly. Of these thy creatures, when thou earnest with thy creations, he, i.e., Gaya Marathon, was the first. But when the retribution of the sinful shall come to pass, then shall good thought distribute thy kingdom, shall fulfil it for those who shall deliver Satan, Druj, into the hand of righteousness, Asha. And so may we be such as make the world renewed, and may Ahura Mazda and righteousness lend their aid, that our thoughts may there be set where faith is abiding. For at the final dispensation the blow of annihilation to Satan shall come to pass. But those who participate in a good report in the life record shall meet together in the happy home of good thought, and of Mazda, and of righteousness. If, O ye men, ye mark these doctrines which Mazda gave, and mark the weal and the woe, namely the long torment of the wicked, and the welfare of the righteous, then in accordance with these doctrines there will be happiness hereafter. The Visperad, All the Masters, is a short collection of prosaic invocations and laudations of sacred things. Its 24 sections form a supplement to the Yasna. Whatever interest this division of the Avesta possesses lies entirely on the side of the ritual, and not in the field of literature. In this respect it differs widely from the book of the Yashts, which is next to be mentioned. The Yashts, Praises of Worship, form a poetical book of 21 hymns, in which the angels of the religion, the worshipful ones, Yazatas, Izads, are glorified, and the heroes of former days. Much of the material of the Yasts is evidently drawn from pre-Zoroastrian sagas which have been remodeled and adopted, worked over and modified, and incorporated into the canon of the new founded religion. There is a mythological and legendary atmosphere about the Yasts, and Ferdowsi's Shahnameh serves to throw light on many of the events portrayed in them, or allusions that would otherwise be obscure. All the longer Yasts are in verse, and some of them have poetic merit. Chiefly to be mentioned among the longer ones are, first, the one in praise of Ardvisura Anahita, or the stream celestial; second, the Yasht which exalts the star Tishtria and his victory over the demon of drought; then the one devoted to the Fravashis, or glorified souls of the righteous, as well as the Yasht in honour of Verethragna, the incarnation of victory. Selections from the others, Yasht 10 and Yasht 19, which are among the noblest, are here given. The first of the two chosen is dedicated to the great divinity Mithra, the genius who presides over light, truth, and the sun. Foremost he, the celestial angel, mounts above Mount Hara Alborz, in advance of the sun immortal, which is drawn by fleeting horses. He it is, in gold adornment, first ascends the beauteous summits, thence beneficent he glances over all the abode of Aryans. As the god of light and of truth, and as one of the judges of the dead, he rides out in lordly array to the battle, and takes an active part in the conflict, wreaking vengeance upon those who at any time in their life have spoken falsely, belied their oath, or broken their pledge. His war chariot and panoply are described in mingled lines of verse and prose, which may thus be rendered: By the side of Mithra's chariot, Mithra, lord of the wide pastures, stand 1,000 bows well fashioned; the bow has a string of cowgut. By his chariot also are standing 1,000 vulture feathered, gold notched, lead poised, well fashioned arrows; the barb is of iron. Likewise 1,000 spears well fashioned and sharp piercing, and 1,000 steel battle axes, two edged and well fashioned, also 1,000 bronze clubs well fashioned. And by Mithra's chariot also stands a mace, fair and well striking, with 100 knobs and edges, dashing forward, felling heroes; out of golden bronze 'tis moulded. The second illustrative extract will be taken from Yasht 19, which magnifies in glowing strains the praises of the kingly glory. This kingly glory, Kavaem Hvareno, is a sort of halo, radiance, or mark of divine right, which was believed to be possessed by the kings and heroes of Iran in the long line of its early history. One hero who bore the glory was the mighty warrior Thra-eta-ona, Feridun, the vanquisher of the serpent monster Azhi-Dahaka, Zohak, who was depopulating the world by his fearful daily banquet of the brains of 2 children. The victory was a glorious triumph for Thra-eta-ona. He who slew Azhi-Dahaka, 3-jawed monster, triple-headed, with 6 eyes and myriad senses, fiend demoniac, full of power, evil to the world and wicked. This fiend full of power, the devil, Anra Mainyu had created, fatal to the world material, deadly to the world of righteousness. Of equal puissance was another noble champion, the valiant Karasaspa, who dispatched a raging demon who, though not yet grown to man's estate, was threatening the world. The monster's thrasonical boasting is thus given: I am yet only a stripling, but if ever I come to manhood, I shall make the earth my chariot, and shall make a wheel of heaven. I shall drive the Holy Spirit down from out the shining heaven. I shall rout the evil spirit up from out the dark abysm. They as steeds shall draw my chariot, God and devil yoked together. Passing over a collection of shorter petitions, praises, and blessings, which may conveniently be grouped together as minor prayers, for they answer somewhat to our idea of a daily manual of morning devotion, we may turn to the Vendidad, law against the demons, the Iranian Pentateuch. Tradition asserts that in the Vendidad we have preserved a specimen of one of the original Naskhs. This may be true, but even the superficial student will see that it is in any case a fragmentary remnant. Interesting as the Vendidad is to the student of early rites, observances, manners, and customs, it is nevertheless a barren field for the student of literature, who will find in it little more than wearisome prescriptions like certain chapters of Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It need only be added that at the close of the colloquy between Zoroaster and Ormazd given in Vendidad 6, he will find the origin of the modern Parsi "towers of silence." Among the Avestan fragments, attention might finally be called to one which we must be glad has not been lost. It is an old metrical bit in praise of the Airyama Ishya prayer. This is the prayer that shall be intoned by the Saviour and his companions at the end of the world, when the resurrection will take place, and it will serve as a sort of last trump, at the sound of which the dead rise from their graves and evil is banished from the world. Ormazd himself says to Zoroaster: The Airyama Ishya prayer, I tell thee, upright, holy Zoroaster, is the greatest of all prayers. Verily among all prayers it is this one which I gifted with revivifying powers. This prayer shall the Saoshyants, saviours, chant, and at the chanting of it I shall rule over my creatures, I who am Ahura Mazda. Not shall Ahriman have power, Anra Mainyu, or my creatures, he, the fiend of foul religion. In the earth shall Ahriman hide, in the earth the demons hide. Up the dead again shall rise, and within their lifeless bodies incorporate life shall be restored. Inadequate as brief extracts must be to represent the sacred books of a people, the citations here given will serve to show that the Avesta which is still recited in solemn tones by the white-robed priests of Bombay, the modern representatives of Zoroaster, the prophet of ancient days, is a survival not without value to those who appreciate whatever has been preserved for us of the world's earlier literature. For readers who are interested in the subject, there are several translations of the Avesta. The best, except for the Gathas, where the translation is weak, is the French version by Darmstaedter, Legende Avesta, published in the Annales du Musée Guimet, Paris, 1892-93. An English rendering by Darmstaedter and Mills is contained in The Sacred Books of the East, volumes 4, 23, 31. A Prayer for Knowledge. This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright. When praise is to be offered, how shall I complete the praise of the one like you, O Mazda? Let the one like thee declare it earnestly to the friend who is such as I, thus through thy righteousness within us to offer friendly help to us, so that the one like thee may draw near us through thy good mind within the soul. This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright how, in pleasing him, may we serve the Supreme One of the better world; yea, how to serve that chief who may grant us those blessings of his grace, and who will seek for grateful requitals at our hands. For he, bountiful as he is through the righteous order, will hold off ruin from us all, guardian as he is for both the worlds, O spirit Mazda, and a friend. This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright, who by generation is the first father of the righteous order within the world? Who gave the recurring sun and stars their undeviating way? Who established that whereby the moon waxes and whereby she wanes, save thee? These things, O great Creator, would I know, and others likewise still. This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright, who from beneath hath sustained the earth, and the clouds above that they do not fall? Who made the waters and the plants? Who to the wind has yoked on the storm clouds the swift and fleetest too? Who, O great Creator, is the inspirer of the good thoughts within our souls? This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright, who as a skilful artisan hath made the lights and the darkness? Who as thus skilful hath made sleep, and the zest of waking hours? Who spread the auroras, the noontides and midnight, monitors to discerning man, duty's true guides? This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright these things which I shall speak forth, if they are truly thus. Doth the piety which we cherish in reality increase the sacred orderliness within our actions? To these thy true saints hath she given the realm through the good mind, for whom hast thou made the mother kine, the produce of joy. This I ask thee, O Ahura, tell me aright, who fashioned Aramaiti, our piety, the beloved, together with thy sovereign power? Who through his guiding wisdom hath made the son revering the father? Who made him beloved? With questions such as these, so abundant, O Mazda, I press thee, O bountiful Spirit, thou maker of all. The Angel of Divine Obedience. We worship Sraosha, Obedience, the blessed, whom four racers draw in harness, white and shining, beautiful and powerful, quick to learn, and fleet, obeying before speech, heeding orders from the mind, with their hoofs of horn gold covered, fleeter than our horses, swifter than the winds, more rapid than the rain drops as they fall, yea, fleeter than the clouds, or well-winged birds, or the well-shot arrow as it flies, which overtake these swift ones all, as they fly after them pursuing, but which are never overtaken when they flee, which plunge away from both the weapons hurled on this side and on that, and draw Sraosha with them, the good Sraosha and the blessed, from which both the weapons, those on this side and on that, bear the good Obedience the blessed plunging forward in their zeal, when he takes his course from India on the east, and when he lights down in the west. To the fire. I offer my sacrifice and homage to thee, the fire, as a good offering, and an offering with our hail of salvation, even as an offering of praise with benedictions to thee, the fire, O Ahura Mazda's son. Meet for sacrifice art thou, and worthy of our homage, and as meet for sacrifice, and thus worthy of our homage, mayst thou be in the houses of men who worship Mazda. Salvation be to this man who worships thee in verity and truth, with wood in hand and beresma, sacred twigs, ready, with flesh in hand, and holding too the mortar. And mayst thou be ever fed with wood as the prescription orders. Yea, mayst thou have thy perfume justly, and thy sacred butter without fail, and thine andirons regularly placed. Be of full age as to thy nourishment, of the canon's age as to the measure of thy food. O fire, Ahura Mazda's son, be now a flame within this house, be ever without fail in flame, be all a shine within this house, for long time be thou thus to the furtherance of the heroic renovation, to the completion of all progress, yea, even till the good heroic millennial time, when that renovation shall have become complete. Give me, O fire, Ahura Mazda's son, a speedy glory, speedy nourishment, and speedy booty, and abundant glory, abundant nourishment, abundant booty, an expanded mind, and nimbleness of tongue and soul and understanding, even an understanding continually growing in its largeness, and that never wanders. The Goddess of the Waters. Offer up a sacrifice unto this spring of mine, Ardvisura Anahita, the exalted, mighty, and undefiled image of the stream celestial, who stands carried forth in the shape of a maid, fair of body, most strong, tall formed, high girded, pure, nobly born of a glorious race, wearing a mantle fully embroidered with gold, ever holding the beresma in her hand, according to the rules. She wears square golden earrings on her ears bored, and a golden necklace around her beautiful neck, she, the nobly born Ardvisura Anahita, and she girded her waist tightly, so that her breasts may be well shaped, that they may be tightly pressed. Upon her head Ardvisura Anahita bound a golden crown, with 100 stars, with 8 rays, a fine well made crown, with fillets streaming down. She is clothed with garments of beaver, Ardvisura Anahita, with the skin of 30 beavers, of those that bear 4 young ones, that are the finest kind of beavers. For the skin of the beaver that lives in water is the finest coloured of all skins, and when worked at the right time, it shines to the eye with full sheen of silver and gold. Guardian Spirits. We worship the good, strong, beneficent Fravashis, guardian spirits of the faithful, with helms of brass, with weapons of brass, with armour of brass, who struggle in the fights for victory in garments of light, arraying the battles and bringing them forwards to kill thousands of devas, demons. When the wind blows from behind them, and brings their breath unto men, then men know where blows the breath of victory. And they pay pious homage unto the good, strong, beneficent Fravashis of the faithful, with their hearts prepared and their arms uplifted. Whichever side they have been first worshipped in the fullness of faith of a devoted heart, to that side turn the awful Fravashis of the faithful, along with Mithra, angel of truth and light, and Rashnu, justice, and the awful cursing thought of the wise, and the victorious wind. An ancient Sindbad. The manly-hearted Karasaspa was the sturdiest of the men of strength, for manly courage clave unto him. We worship this manly courage, firm of foot, unsleeping, quick to rise, and fully awake, that clave unto Karasaspa the hero, who killed the snake Srivara, the horse-devouring, man-devouring, yellow poisonous snake, over which yellow poison flowed a thumb's breadth thick. Upon him Karasaspa was cooking his food in a brass vessel at the time of noon. The fiend felt the heat and darted away. He rushed from under the brass vessel and upset the boiling water. The manly-hearted Karasaspa fell back affrighted. The Wise Man. Verily I say it unto thee, O Spitama Zoroaster, the man who has a wife is far above him who lives in continence. He who keeps a house is far above him who has none. He who has children is far above the childless man. He who has riches is far above him who has none. and of two men, he who fills himself with meat receives in him good spirit, vohumano, much more than he who does not do so; the latter is all but dead, the former is above him by the worth of a sheep, by the worth of an ox, by the worth of a man. It is this man that can strive against the onsets of death, that can strive against the well-darted arrow, that can strive against the winter fiend with the thinnest garment on, that can strive against the wicked tyrant and smite him on the head. It is this man that can strive against the ungodly fasting Ashemaoga, the fiends and heretics who do not eat. Invocation to rain. Come on, O clouds, along the sky, through the air, down on the earth, by thousands of drops, by myriads of drops, thus say, O holy Zoroaster, to destroy sickness altogether, to destroy death altogether, to destroy altogether the sickness made by the Gaini, to destroy altogether the death made by Gaini, to destroy altogether Gadha and Abhagadha. If death come at eve, may healing come at daybreak. If death come at daybreak, may healing come at night. If death come at night, may healing come at dawn. Let showers shower down new waters, new earth, new trees, new health, and new healing powers. A prayer for healing. Ahura Mazda spake unto Spitama Zoroaster, saying, I, Ahura Mazda, the maker of all good things, when I made this mansion, the beautiful, the shining, seen afar, there may I go up, there may I arrive. Then the ruffian looked at me, the ruffian Anra Mainyu, the deadly, wrought against me 9 diseases and 90, and 909,000, and 9 times 10,000 diseases. So mayest thou heal me, O holy word, thou most glorious one. Unto thee will I give in return 1,000 fleet swift running steeds. I offer thee up a sacrifice, O good Saoka, made by Mazda and holy. Unto thee will I give in return 1,000 fleet high humped camels. I offer thee up a sacrifice, O good Saoka, made by Mazda and holy. Unto thee will I give in return 1,000 brown faultless oxen. I offer thee up a sacrifice, O good Saoka, made by Mazda and holy. Unto thee will I give in return 1,000 young of all species of small cattle. I offer thee up a sacrifice, O good Saoka, made by Mazda and holy. And I will bless thee with the fair blessing spell of the righteous, the friendly blessing spell of the righteous, that makes the empty swell to fullness, and the full to overflowing, that comes to help him who was sickening, and makes the sick man sound again. Fragment. All good thoughts, and all good words, and all good deeds, are thought and spoken and done with intelligence. And all evil thoughts and words and deeds are thought and spoken and done with folly. And let the men who think and speak and do all good thoughts and words and deeds inhabit heaven as their home. And let those who think and speak and do evil thoughts and words and deeds abide in hell. For to all who think good thoughts, speak good words, and do good deeds, heaven the best world belongs. And this is evident, and as of course. End of section 20.